All right, so you're looking for a punching bag for your home, but you don't know which kind of punching bag to get. Today we're gonna cover 3 different kinds of punching bags. I think they're the only kinds of punching bags that you can get. We're gonna cover a punching bag that you hang from a metal stand, a mobile metal stand that you can get at any sports store. We're gonna cover a punching bag that is just a traditional hanging punching bag that you hang from a beam at your house. And we are gonna cover a freestanding punching bag. We're gonna talk about the pros and the cons of each of those options, starting with the metal stand punching bag. So this was the first kind of punching bag that I've ever had in my entire life. It was a metal stand punching bag. I had it down in my basement for about 8 months until I replaced it with a hanging punching bag, and I'll tell you why. So just first of all, the pros of the metal stand punching bag is that you don't have to drill permanently into some beam in your house, a wooden beam. You don't have to drill into the wall, find a stud. The setup is a little bit easier. That said, they do come disassembled, so you do have to assemble these. So you need some tools, you have to screw them all together, and yeah, it's kind of like an IKEA project, right? But once you put it together, you can move it around anywhere in your room, and you can have a punching bag in your garage, in your basement, wherever you want, in your bathroom if you're weird. All right, this metal stand bag, the pros of it, like I said, are the mobility and the flexibility to have it anywhere. For me, that's the only pro, and that's why I replaced it when I had it early on. The cons, setup's kind of a pain. Like I said, it's like an IKEA project, right? The other cons are just, it's super loud when you hit it, makes a ton of noise, it rattles around a lot, it shakes a lot. It's a little dangerous, which I can kind of demonstrate for you. And then finally, you can't really move around it. You're very limited to where you can move around. So in order to make this work, you have to put weights on it. Just like you see right here. When those weights are on there, you got about this much of a range of motion and you're done. All right, let me hit this thing a little bit for you. So light. Now I'll pick it up. As you can see and hear, it starts to rattle around on the floor. You don't want to put it on a wooden floor because it'll scrape it up. Usually a basement is a good fit for this, or a garage because it's concrete. The weights shake a lot, and the dangerous part that I mentioned is what can often happen is as you're hitting it, the weights can kind of pop up and land on your feet. It happened to me. That is why I got rid of my metal stand punching bag, and I set up eventually a hanging punching bag in my house. That's what we'll talk about next. So, all right, next up is the hanging punching bag option. This was the second ever punching bag option I had in my house after the metal bag stand kind of disappointed me. Like I said, it might be the right option for you. It's not my favorite. This by far, even though we are gonna cover the freestanding bag, which we do sell here at Fight Camp, it's a great option. It's not my absolute favorite. My favorite is the hanging punching bag option. Okay, so the pros of it are that you can really, here, let me put this glove back on because we're gonna be hitting it. You can really move around it and it swings and it gives a really authentic feel. As it moves around, you can take different angles, hit the body. It's just a very authentic bag to hit. Now the cons of this, the pros, they're obvious. It's a great bag to hit. The cons of this, there's many, right? But most notably, the cons of this kind of bag is that you have to find somewhere permanently in your wall or in your ceiling at your house. You need tools to drill it in, right? So you need to find like a main support beam like we did here, which is sometimes difficult to find. Then you need to be able to get a drill, some clamps, some things like that, drill it into there. Or you need to find some main support beams on your wall, drill it into your wall. If you ever want to take it down or move it, you have those holes that are there permanently, you got to cover them up. And then even when you do, let's say you put in a main support beam in your house, there's like 16-year-old Tommy, I was trying to be a fighter, you know, and I was down there every day hitting the bag and my whole house was shaking and my mom was yelling at me. My mom, she's a Boston mom, she swears, okay? It wasn't pretty. Half the time I was hitting the bag, half the time I was playing defense because my mom was trying to hit me. So here, let's hit this a little bit. You'll see why I like it, because as you hit it, it moves around a lot. You can take those angles on it, those body shots. I love creating that angle with the hanging punching bag to where you start to get it to swing and you can dig the body. You can kind of manipulate it, push it like you're boxing an actual opponent. But it's gonna feel like you have an earthquake going through your entire house. So I don't know about you, my current living situation, that would not be ideal. What I have now in my house is this bag right here, the Fight Camp Freestanding Bag. Now the Fight Camp Freestanding Bag isn't the only freestanding bag. There's tons of different freestanding bag options out there. Some of them are okay. Most of them, they're no good. And you know, we'll cut to some B-roll footage right here for you to see some of the options we've tested in the past. They don't really stand up to much power. The Fight Camp bag, the reason we actually sell this bag is because we feel it's the best freestanding bag on the market. It actually does stand up to a lot of power, as I'll demonstrate in a second. Now, the pros of a freestanding bag, it's obvious. You don't have to permanently drill anything into your wall, and it's not like an IKEA project, like with the metal bag stand. It is a little bit difficult to set up, so the base is what makes it difficult. You need to fill that for it to be an effective bag with something very heavy. So we filled this with 350 pounds of sand, then from there, we poured water in as well to make it extra, extra heavy. Now, once you do that, it's an awesome bag to hit. It doesn't move that much. So I'll demonstrate that for you in 1 second. That's the con. The pro is that it's very flexible. You can put this anywhere. If you put it on a rubber mat, it's not gonna ruin your floor. If you ever wanna move it around in your house, you kinda tip it onto its side and you can roll it into different areas of your house, just like that. And it's a generally solid bag to hit. So let's hit this one a little bit. There's a hard jab. There's the body. There's the body. We try to cut this thing in half every time we hit it. That's it right there. So as you can see, it's not completely impervious to movement. It moves a little bit, but it generally stays in one place, and there you have it. So look, what bag is the right fit for you? It's super personal, right? There's different costs. The Fight Camp bag is gonna be the most expensive option here. It's also gonna be the most optimal for at-home use, in our opinion, right? The metal stand bag, well, the metal stand will cost maybe $100. The bag, 100, 200, 300. This is a bag from a company called Modest Vintage. They make amazing gear. That's why we use it here in the studio. But they ship it to you. You gotta find something to fill that bag with, so remember that. Same goes for the hanging bag. Sometimes you'll get one of these hanging bags and you'll have to fill it. But this, if you have the tools and you can permanently drill it into your wall or your ceiling, is the cheapest option. But again, comes with those cons of it makes a ton of noise and you have to have tools and stuff like that. This right here, right now, this point in my life, I'm an adult. This is the best option for me in my house. So let me know if you have any other questions. Are there any other videos that we should review? Any bags? Any questions on this topic right here? Please hit me up in the comments section. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this. I'll see you in the next video. Bow!
This is Fight Camp, an interactive training camp from the comfort of your own home. Tutorials and guided paths walk you step by step through the basics and sharpen your technique over time. Punch tracking technology and leaderboards provide you built-in motivation to help you hit your goals. Learn more at FightCamp.com.
Your workout, and I don't expect you to be going non-stop.